Okay, welcome to your first lesson on transposition. This is the nuts and bolts of where the intervals we talked about before and finding the key signature, locating the key, really come together. So, transposition means to raise or lower all the notes in a piece of music to play it in another key, either higher or lower. Right? And you might need to do this for some different reasons. We talked about this one in the lesson where we talked about vocal ranges. Sometimes singers and instrumentalists may need pieces to be transposed to suit their ranges. For example, you cannot just take a piece of flute music and give it to a trumpet player to read. You just can't do it. Not only do they read in different key signatures, but flutes are often way above the staff. They read in 2, 3, 5, 6, 8 ledger lines in extreme cases. You just don't do that to a trumpet player. All right, so you have to transpose music if you want another instrumentalist to play it, or if you want a singer to sing it. All right, so here's an example. The second melody below, down here, is the same as the first, but it has been transposed up one step. Before we hear it, just have a look. Here you have the key of F major. You have one flat in the key signature. This music is in the key of F major. It starts on an F. It ends on an F. Okay, so there are two clues right there that help give credence to the fact that this is in F major. Right? The next piece of music, the next line is in G major. You can see it starts on G, it ends on G. It looks identical to this music. Right? They both look pretty much identical, but all the notes here are one step higher on the staff than here. So the original music sounds like this. And the other music sounds like this. So as you can hear, it's the same music, it's just in a different key signature. It has technically been transposed up from the key of F to the key of G. Now, the key signature changes along with the notes, as I just explained. But in the example below, it's been transposed up an octave. Okay, up one octave, so the key signature stays the same. Here we have music down towards the bottom of the treble clef. D, F sharp, D, F sharp, A, E, C sharp, etc., all the way through. Here, same letter names, D, F sharp, A, etc., but we're an octave higher, so the key signature can stay identical. It does not have to change. When we transpose by a perfect octave, by one exact octave, we don't have to change the key signature. We just move the notes up 8 steps. So take a moment and finish the rest of this worksheet. They're just asking you questions based on transposing and moving music from one key to another. Okay, so some true or false questions in here. If a piece of music is in C major and you transpose it up a whole step, what key will it be in now? As an example, to answer this question, if you're in the key of C and you go up a whole step, your new key is a whole step above C. So do a little calculation, find the interval, what is a whole step above C? And next, if a piece is in C major and you transpose it up a perfect fifth, what key will it be in now? You can transpose up a perfect fifth because you already know how to do that with intervals. You have to find the fifth that's above C that fits within the key of C major. Or if you want to think way back to your circle of fifths, what note, the distance of a perfect fifth is exactly 7 half steps. So what is 7 half steps above the note C? And that's the new tonic, that's the new key signature. Okay. Next question, true or false? It is possible to transpose a piece of music from a major key into a minor key. We haven't really talked about that, so I'll answer it with you / for you. You can't transpose music directly from a major key to another key. So technically that music is false. You can adjust music to make it sound minor, right? So for example, if I've got my piano here and I play I'm sure you all recognize that as Twinkle Twinkle or ABC or Baba Black Sheep. But if I turn that into a parallel minor key, I would get this. A very different sound, right? I used, obviously, different notes, so I didn't exactly transpose it. So you can't officially transpose music from a major key into a minor key. And then finally, true or false, melody number 2 below is a transposed version of melody number 1. So you need to study the music, study the difference in the key signatures, and study the notes and make sure everything is transposed properly into the given key. So pause the video right now, finish up this worksheet real quick on page 30. We'll carry on into page 31. Pause the video now. Go. All right, so transposing by an octave. This is by far the easiest method of transposing music you'll come across. The simplest transposition, as you can read in here, is to transpose by 1 octave. For example, a melody in D major, you see the key signature for D major, bunch of eighth notes, blah, 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 ending on the note D. Perfect, we're in D major. And the same melody transposed up by an octave. Since we're in the same key, we're just going up a perfect octave, perfect 8 notes. F sharp is F sharp, just higher. E is E, just higher. F sharp is F sharp, just higher. G is just an octave above G. Everything here is exactly 1 octave above everything here. The key signature does not change when transposing by an octave because you're moving from a D to a D, or an A flat to an A flat, or a C to a C. It's going to be the exact same key. Now, I would highly recommend that you follow the little music notation tips down the side here. Inevitably, what ends up happening when people aren't being careful with their notation is that things get squished up or jumbled up and get a little bit hard to read. So do it step by step first. The first step, it says copy out the bar lines using a ruler, keeping the bars exactly the same size. So we have 1 bar line right here. I'm going to bring it straight down. Bring this bar line straight down to make sure I keep pretty much the right number of beats. So the right number of space, the right amount of space in each bar. Okay. Next step, copy the key signature into the new example, as it does not change when transposing by octave. So this original music, as you can see here, we have 2 flats that would signify B flat major. We're starting on the note B flat, and we're ending on the note B flat. So certainly we're in the key of B flat major. All we have to do then is throw in the key signature, which is the same. So that means I can just grab my pen and go B flat, E flat. Okay. Next step says copy the time signature into the new example. I can do that easily. 2/4 time. Okay, and now I need to make sure I'm spacing my note heads out properly. Okay, so I copy the time signature, draw each individual note head, making sure that each note is exactly 1 octave higher or lower. So put the note heads first, and then finish it off with the stems, because the stems might need to go in different directions. We don't want to copy this visually exactly, because this music here, once we get into these notes up here, they're going to be way up above the staff. So we're not going to want the notes way up in here have stems going up, right? We're going to focus on the note heads first, and then we'll do the stems after that. All right, so jumping in, we have the notes B flat, D, F, E flat. So we're going to do the same thing 1 octave higher. B flat, D, F, E flat. Okay, carrying on, make sure you're staying 1 octave higher, always 1 octave. Study the notes. We have D, C, D, F. D, C, D, F. D, C, D, F. Gives us D, C, D, whoops, that's not it, F on the line. right? D, C, D, F. Always make sure you're doing the proper notes. And then finally, in the second last bar, we have B flat, G, A, F. B flat, G, A, F. B flat, G, A, F. And now not only B flat, if I see the note B flat, and I go B flat, there's a B flat. Okay, be careful. I have not transposed an octave here. This B flat is on the middle line. This B flat is also on the middle line. It's exactly in the same spot. I don't want to do that. Okay, you'll notice that from this last note here, this F, we've gone up to B flat. So from this F, we have to go up to B flat. That means we need ledger lines here. We need the B flat above the line here. Our next notes are G, A, F. G, A, F. So G is on right above the top line. A uses the ledger line. And then F is on the top line, fifth line of the staff. We finish off this music with a B flat on the middle line. We've gone up from F to B flat, just like we did over here. F up to B flat, F up to the B flat above. So we're going to need that ledger line back because this half note goes right above. Now I can throw in my stems, and I can see that because all these notes are way up on the upper half of the staff, I'm going to have to bring these stems down. Okay. And we've done some lessons before on how to write stems, how to draw them well. Okay. These note heads are all on the upper part of the staff as well, so all of these stems are also going to go down. About 2-3 lines down, 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 and get that going. And then we'll carry on. We're just working our way backwards. Okay, again, we see that all these notes are on the upper half of the staff. This guy technically is on the right on the line, so it could go up or down, but because we want to connect them, we want to show beat one as one unit, and this note is on the upper part of the staff, we're going to want these stems also to go down. All right, so there's our completed first example. This melody right here has now been transposed one octave higher. Same key signature, same time signature. Our notes are now just 8 notes higher. Carry on and do the same thing with the next 2 examples. This one up here transposed it an octave up. This guy now transposed it an octave down. Same idea. Key signature will stay the same. Time signature obviously the same. All these notes now go down. So this A becomes second space A. This G becomes second line G, etc., etc. All right, so you can finish up that worksheet. We'll take it up in class, make sure we are good to go for basic transposition of octaves.